Do it, motherfucker. Do it. What's up? I'm Cleary. So, the Colorado shit. Trump got banned from the Colorado ballot, or they're trying to ban him. It's been a day since that happened, since that was announced. I just kind of wanted to go over the aftermath. So he's fucking live right now, giving a speech.
Was that .com, okay?
Dude, I haven't listened to a Trump speech in years.
From Sioux City to Iowa City, from Fort Dodge to Cedar Rapids and Des Moines to Davenport to right here in Waterloo, we stand on the shoulders of generations of Iowa patriots who have tamed the wilderness, braved the elements, tilled the soil.
Tamed the wilderness, braved
you're still
the
tilling
elements.
the soil, right?
Heroic
You
Iowa.
great people. Worked the fields, built the factories, and poured out their blood, sweat, and tears to make this country into the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Sorry, it's pretty late
But
for me
now
right
we
now.
are a nation in decline.
I gotta be a bit
we
quiet,
are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, its willpower, and its strength. We are a nation that has lost its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. We're not going to allow it to continue. We can't let it continue. The biggest election we've ever had is coming up, 2024.
Oh, he's
I
not
used
wrong
to
there.
say that with 2016. It's the biggest election. I meant it. But we didn't have, we had a big border problem. In fact, I fixed it so good that in 2020, we couldn't talk about the border. They'd say, sir, nobody cares about the border. I said, what do you mean? It's the biggest thing. You fixed it, sir. It was totally fixed.
No, you're so right. Oh my god, yeah, no, Trump, you saved us. You saved us. The flood of immigrants was threatening to break down the fucking walls, come into America and slaughter us all. Wait, how did you fix it exactly? I don't see any big ass walls spanning the border, dude. Where the fuck is it?
And then what happened is not even
I love Trump.
believable. This is the single biggest election in the history of our country. This is going to determine whether or not we even have a country left, because these people are destroying our country. 3 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again.
Oh god,
It
the
was
MAGA shit's
hardworking
coming back.
patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. 2024 is our final battle.
No, think about it. What do you think his base will do if he loses the election? He will 100% lie about it. I almost guarantee he'll do the fucking, like, they fucking stole the presidency from me again. I bet you fucking anything. He'll go that route. What happens then? I'm very... I don't want to say curious, because I wanted to, like, inject a little more dread in there, but... Think about the insanity of this. You have one of the most controversial presidents ever up on that podium, or on the fucking stage, behind a podium, talking to the crowd like he did back in 2016. The guy that tried to ban Muslims, the guy that fucking gave Kim Jong-un like legitimacy on the global stage without getting a single concession from him. The guy that is like buddy with fucking Putin. Apparently, I would need to look in this a little bit more, but apparently they're still doing the whole buddy shtick. A guy that denied the existence of COVID, then like said it claimed it was a hoax made by the Democratic Party. The guy that got his base, I don't necessarily want to say insurrection, but he did get his base, like 10,000 fucking of his followers, to go to the Capitol and fuck shit up. And this guy, he's back. He's back for more. More fun with Trump. I can't believe this is real. It's insane.
With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw up...
Oh god, with the communist comment. I mean, it's mainly online, but holy shit, that statement actually is kind of legitimate nowadays, isn't it?
the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media. We will evict
fake news getting the biggest hits.
And we will
Gotta
finish
get the fake news in there.
the job once and for all. The great silent majority is rising like never before, and under our leadership, the forgotten men and women, the men and women of our country have been forgotten.
Got it the second time
they
around.
will be forgotten no longer. They weren't forgotten for 4 years. You know that better.
Also, I just want to point out the disclaimer they felt the need to add. This video may contain allegations that are factually questionable or cannot be independently confirmed by CNN. They know Trump.
Nobody's ever done better than we did during that 4-year period. We will love our country. We will take care of our country. We will pray to God for our strength and for our liberty.
We will pet our country and love our country and hold it.
We will be with God. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God.
All right, that's going to be it for me for the moment. I might go over this speech because holy shit, Trump's speeches are fucking, there's just something so deliciously horrible about them.
They have just tried to bar President Trump from the Colorado ballot using an unconstitutional maneuver that is a bastardization of the 14th Amendment to our U.S. Constitution.
Once again, yeah, I'm sure they knew it was going to be like fucking heavily disputed. And it's, from my understanding, once again, it's really hard to prove that, like, well, especially since, like, I don't know. It just sounds like it's hard to prove.
This was a provision, Section 3, that was designed to bar Confederate members, people who switched to the Confederacy, from actually being able to serve. That's very different than what's at issue here, to say the least.
Well, yeah, and the Second Amendment existed just in case, like, the government turned tyrannical or whatever, so that we could, like, fight against it and shit, even though, like, nowadays that's, like, not even, like, a thing, right? Like, amendments, of course, through the passage of time are going to relate less and less to the realities of the country. It just happens. And just to clarify my Second Amendment comment, do you seriously think that, like, a militia of civilians could actually face up against the like U.S. military nowadays? No, there's no fucking way in hell. So, like, the point being, the original intention of the Second Amendment was to make sure that we could fight against, like, tyrannical government or whatever. Even though, like, nowadays, it's not practical at all. There's no way that would ever happen. But we still have it, don't we?
This is a hollowed out husk of what the country was built on. The basic principle that we, the people, select our leadership, not the unelected elite class in the back of palace halls. That's old world Europe, not the United States. That's why I'm making a pledge today that I will withdraw. I pledge to withdraw from the Colorado GOP primary ballot unless and until Trump's name is restored. And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie and Nikki Haley do the same thing, or else these Republicans are simply complicit in this unconstitutional attack on the way we conduct our constitutional republic.
Damn, this guy is making some plays. Holy shit. Yeah, okay, yeah. And fucking over his, well, I guess his colleagues? Competitors? Competitor colleagues?
Refuse to be complicit in that. I think what they're doing is wrong. And I think it's up to Republicans to step up and stand up with a spine for our country's future. That's really what's at stake. Whether we, the people, actually have a say in deciding who leads this country. Yes, it would be easier for other Republicans like me who are running in this race to say, hey, if Trump is sidelined, there's our opportunity. No doubt other candidates are probably privately celebrating with their corporate sponsors.
And then there are little fucking cucks like you who come up and start sucking daddy's dick. Like, no, don't be mean to Trump.
That's not the right thing to do. I think the most useful thing that every GOP candidate can do right now is to join me in that pledge. I'll say that I will withdraw from that Colorado GOP primary ballot until Trump's name is restored. This belongs to the people, not to the unelected Democratic cabal of judges in Colorado or any other state.
Right, yeah. Well, actually, shit, before I even say anything, Colorado, wait, who fucking, oh my President Donald Trump from the state's primary ballot is composed of 7 justices that are appointed by Democratic governors. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just gonna on that one.
And And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley and Chris Christie do the same thing, or else they're complicit in what this security state is trying to do to shut down Trump. I stand by that, and I expect them to do the right thing.
What a brave man, sucking Daddy Trump's dick. I hope the cum tastes good. All right. What else we got? I do want to look at this, but this is a longer video. I want to kind of save it till last. You know, there's some crazy stuff going on with this shit.
The core problem here is the denial of due process. To deprive somebody of the right to hold public office requires due process. It requires an adjudication of two core issues. One, was there an insurrection? Did the public disturbance rise to the level of an insurrection? And second, what was the role of the individual in there? Was it engagement? Did they do something to break their oath of office? My own view of it is that the federal government, the mechanism that's in place is charging him with insurrection or rebellion. And there is and Congress did pass that after the 14th Amendment. Congress passed two laws that were meant to implement it. One was the ability to remove someone from office, and that was passed in 1870, and it was done away with in 1948. And the other was making it a crime to breach your oath and then hold another office. So to engage in rebellion and insurrection, and I think that's what would be required at this stage.
So due process wise, it seems like Colorado, you know, they the process went through with them. I guess maybe he's like referring to like that, well, like on a federal level, which obviously if you're talking about a presidential candidate, it's probably going to have to go to some sort of federal body. But what else? Wait, rips other candidates' reaction to Colorado Supreme Court blocking Trump from ballot. Wait, seriously? Did somebody
quietly gloating about the decision in Colorado yesterday? Other GOP candidates.
Yeah, who are you with?
Jake Traylor, NBC News.
Thank you.
You said the other candidates were quietly gloating about the decision yesterday in Colorado. What exactly were you referring to?
I'm referring to the fact that many other candidates have now referred to their project in Colorado of being one of collecting delegates. Well, I think there's something deeper at issue here. I think the right answer should be to say that we don't tolerate this form of election interference in the GOP primary. And the easiest way to solve that problem, to nullify the effect of that election interference, is for no GOP candidates to participate in a primary that's rigged. I think other candidates have refused to make that same commitment as me. And I think it reveals that this may be part of their plan, which I don't think is actually what most of the Republican voters want. We don't want a rigged primary. We want one where the people who elect the government leaders are the ones who actually get to choose who leads the government.
No other candidates have followed suit on what you said. Are you surprised by that? Do you expect them to?
I would expect them to. I would hope they do. But I would be deeply disappointed if they don't. I think this is about something bigger than just this election. This is about basic principles in this country.
Does anybody else hate how politicians speak? Like, this seems like such a casual encounter, but he's still just so, like, I have the biggest sticks shoved so far up my ass right now. That's how he's talking. Sorry, it had nothing to do with what's being discussed. It bugs me a little bit.
We, the people, are the ones who choose our U.S. president. That's the way it works in the United States. So if you can have unelected judges in a particular state using their own theory of the law when somebody has never even been charged, let alone convicted.
Well, I mean, when it comes to, like, electing the judges, I mean, you elect the representatives that, put the judges on the Supreme Court. So, I mean, it's a little bit removed from, like, you know, the election process, but it's still, like, you still do have a say in that. But, all right.
Of an insurrection or otherwise, to make their own interpretation to keep somebody off a ballot. I think that's the beginning of the end of the democratic process in our constitutional republic. And so
No, I think having a bunch of fucking Republicans storming the Capitol, that might be a little more like end timesy. At least that's how it feels to me. But
I want to make a point is, it would be a lot more convenient for me if Trump weren't in this race, but that's not how I want to win. And any other Republican that's trying to win that way should be ashamed of themselves, and I think has actually revealed themselves to be...
Wait, I don't think... Trump hasn't announced a vice president yet, right? Is that what's happening right now? Is Mr. Ramaswamy... Ramaswamy Is Mr. Ramaswamy kind of vying for that position? That is hardcore what it feels like to me now.
Something other than what they claim to be, which is a true patriot who stands for our constitutional principles.
If Iowa
Yes,
or
a
New
true
Hampshire
patriot. Oh, fucking God bless America.
would you withdraw from the caucus here or the primary?
Iowa and New Hampshire are not going to do it because we're actually here and responsive to the people. And I think that the answer is, I'm not responding to scenarios that don't exist right now. We see a case that came down from Colorado. It was dead wrong. And the answer is we have to stand for what's right. California is...
Well, okay, to be fair, when it comes to, like, due process, well, I guess he didn't really bring up due process, but, like, is yet to be determined whether or not it is right or wrong, right?
Now saying the same thing. I posted that is actually their lieutenant governor is instructing their secretary of state to look into it. I posted the same thing earlier today. The same principle applies there as well. And so I don't know what kind of gotcha game you're trying to play or exactly what agenda or narrative you're trying to push, but I'm giving you my hard answers, which is that I believe we stand on principle, that we should not want election interference in the GOP primary, and it is shameful if other GOP candidates can't stand up with the spine and say the same thing.
Yeah, I said this last video. Yeah, they were going to have a field day with this shit. Yeah, they're fucking, like, the persecution of Trump. Yeah. Yikes. I mean, to be fair, it is it is kind of a persecution, but it is, I guess it falls to, like, whether or not, is it justified? Like, that's the question. I personally think, like, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Like, he could burn in hell for all I care. Fuck him hard as fucking possible. What else? No, I think it's time. I think it's time for the old dude. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, look at that face. He's ready. I'm ready for him.
Hi, everyone. I'm Diane Brady. I'm here with Alan Dershowitz, noted trial lawyer, professor emeritus at Harvard, author of Get Trump, and of course, somebody who is uniquely well suited to comment on the Colorado State Court decision to basically disqualify former President Donald Trump from being on the ballot for the primaries. Good to see you, Alan. And what do you make of this decision?
Well, I would have given it a D- in constitutional law with great inflation.
Here, I actually want to look this guy up real quick. Alan Dershowitz. Several books of politics and law, including Reversal of Fortune. Sure. Wikipedia. Yeah, let's do it. Constitutional law, American criminal law. Okay, he's just a legal analyst. All right. Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
But if the professor was Lawrence Tribe, or if it was Jamie Raskin, he'd have given him an A+. This is an attempt to totally manipulate an amendment that was never designed to disqualify people in future elections. It was a Civil War amendment. It's an attempt to manipulate this amendment just to get Trump. Title of my book, Get Trump. This is just another example of that. If you look at the Constitution, it is as clear as could be that the 14th Amendment can be implemented only by Congress, not by state legislatures. The Congress shall have the power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provisions of this article, and it's logical.
Oh shit! I didn't know it said that. Okay, that is a little spicier.
Well, remember who wrote the 14th Amendment? Radical Republican Reconstructionists. You think they would give the power to decide who's going to run for president to Mississippi and Alabama? Of course not. It's the most absurd argument historically and constitutionally. And the text of the amendment doesn't even apply to the President of the United States. It applies to senators, representatives, and electors. So this is a stretch beyond all stretching.
Now, the Supreme Court obviously can weigh.
Here, real quick. Yeah, no, if he's not bullshitting, and like, he seems trustworthy to me. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. I'm not. Fuck. I really want to do research on this, but it's late. Fuck. Let me think. What was I gonna? I don't think he would misquote the fucking amendment. Like, yeah, that's sounding rough.
In overturn this decision. Do you think they're likely to take this on? They obviously have several things in front of them at the moment related to the election.
This one they have no choice on. They have a choice on the immunity. They can put that off. Trump today came in and said, we don't want to rush this, do it in the normal way. This one they have to take because he's going to be taken off the ballot in early January. So my prediction is they'll give a stay. There's already a stay in the state court, but it's only until early January. They'll give a stay that takes us probably through the primary. But even if they don't, what's going to happen is the Republican Party will just eliminate the primary and have a caucus and nominate. Then we'll have to see what the courts do about that.
There have been threats from Republican governors around taking Biden off. Now, obviously, on what grounds is an open question, but the sort of politicization of this process you mentioned, how big a risk is that we'll get into this tit-for-tat battle state by state?
It's a 100% risk. It's not a risk. It's a certainty.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Oh, no. Are things about to get insane? The more I think about it, the more I think that the Colorado thing might have been a mistake. Because it seems like it was inevitable that it was going to get nowhere. And, I mean, it is yet to be determined, I guess. But, like, it seems like it's probably going to get, like, smacked down pretty hard. It gives the Republicans a really, like, solid narrative to run with, about the persecution of Trump. And this tit for tat thing, damn, dude. If that actually happens, that will be insane. We'll see, though. Yeah, shit. I think, I just kind of wanted to look over some of the stuff that, like, some of the fallout, I guess, from yesterday. Yeah, damn. I don't know. Let's say goodbye to Trump, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
But no, it's very important because people were going to the heirs. You inherit a farm, you have a 40-50% tax to pay, and they fight with you over the tax, and they end up going to the bankers.
I salute you for the tax breaks for the rich, Trump. Thank you, and good night, my lovely orange man. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.